And we are back on an hour to give. I'm so excited today. We are featuring the Orléans-Cumberland Community Resource Center. Lots to talk about today. We're going to meet two fantastic volunteers, and Denis Charbonneau is here, as well as Rob Paiement. They are volunteers, and they've been volunteering for a very long time.
That's right.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
So, of course, you're volunteers, but what do you do in your day job? Because you look kind of...
I'm also a volunteer firefighter. Been over 23 years here in the Ottawa area. It's out in Orleans.
Out in Orleans.
Yeah.
So you're dedicated to the Orleans community.
And I've been co-chair for the Orléans-Cumberland Resource Center for the food drive for over 22 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. And Rob, what do you do when you're not volunteering?
When I'm not volunteering, I work at the University of Ottawa with the Protection Services, and I'm responsible for the training division.
Wow, and what does that mean?
What it means to us is that we are responsible to make sure that the men and women in uniform have the support, the training to complete their duties on a daily basis. So we are at the first responders, the security team, and also the fire brigade for the university.
And it's something that probably the average person doesn't think about, right? That's required at a big university setting.
Correct.
Like that.
At the university, we are a small community. We're over 50,000 people. So, we are often compared to a small city.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So I'm going to take you back. Can I take you back to... I don't know, maybe the 80s, and take you back to Charbonneau High School and school. Give me a little idea of why we're going back to Charbonneau.
So Rob and I have been volunteering since then. So probably since I was in grade 7 and he was in grade 9. Our older brothers played football together and we're part of a committee and organizing stuff. And we've been friends forever and organizing and volunteering. Rob's the type of person where you call him and say, "Hey Rob, we're doing food drive. Can you get some people?" He puts the call out, he gets the people. And he's my right-hand man in this food drive.
I love it. So has it really dawned on you that it's been 36 years? I mean, I'll go to you first and I'm coming to you, but I mean, when you think about being together and doing this for 36 years, it's just in your DNA. It
is. I mean, that's how we grew up. Our parents were always out in the communities helping out, and that's how we grew up, and that's how I show my kids to do it. They're there with me still helping out and volunteering, and time goes by fast.
How about you, 36 years?
It goes by really fast, but when you get to volunteer and work with people that you love and that you get along with, and then you bring like-minded people to the table, and more people is added to our group over the years, and now that includes most of us, all of our children as well. So, my daughter Annabelle has been volunteering since she was 3. And
I love it.
She's known Denis most of her life, all her life, I should say, and it has a huge impact, and she'll be with us again this year, volunteering with us. So both my kids were heavily impacted by us volunteering, and they're both giving back to the community in their own way as well.
And it's cyclical. I mean, it's beautiful to see the family come together, and it really is a beautiful legacy you're giving your family as well. So I think about being a volunteer firefighter, and then I see you working on this, dedicated to the Orleans community. I think sometimes people think about the communities of Barrhaven, Canada, Orleans as, well, they're okay. There's no one in need in those communities, and it couldn't be farther from the truth.
That's right.
Denis, talk to me a little bit about the need.
So the need is there, especially this year. I don't have the exact numbers for this year, but I know last year we fed over 600 families for Christmas and throughout the new year. Having the firefighters there, it's one of our biggest fundraisers, helping out in the community that we do. I get about 100 firefighters that come out. We have all the grocery stores in Orleans collecting food, and the minute I put the call out, they're always there. Everybody's there to help us. And it feels good, and to see the people, to go in the food bank 2-3 weeks before and there's nothing on the shelves, and to put something there is remarkable, and everybody loves it. People love giving to firefighters. We love giving it back to the community and making sure everybody's fed and taken care of.
Yeah, there is something about when you see shelves bare that really drives a community, to think that maybe it's your neighbor, it's someone across the street that is going without. It is a big driver. How do you sort of reconcile that in your own life, knowing that there's somebody might be in need in the community, and that's why you're doing this kind of work?
Well, often enough, people don't recognize the need amongst our neighbors and friends and family. So when somebody is struggling, they rarely ask for help until it's too late often. So in my work previously, people contacted my office when I held different offices and would say, well, I now need help, but not knowing that an office of a city councilor or an office of an MPP can help you with certain bills, can help you with certain payment arrangements when it comes to utilities at the municipal or provincial level. So a lot of times people don't know where to reach out, and that's why centers like the Orléans-Cumberland Resource Center and our network around this city are so important. The only thing is people don't know where they are. So I call these places lighthouses.
Oh, I love that.
But they don't have a beacon right now that is recognized across the city. So you need help, you know where the firefighters are. You need help, you know where the police officers are. But you don't know where your local community resource centers are. And with Chad and with other people, we're going to try to make it more accessible, because they are accessible once you know where they are. And although today you may be calling them for the food bank, they're going to do some intake. And then they're going to say, hey, there's other programs that'll be able to help you. And that's the magic of going for the Orléans-Cumberland Resource Center or one of their partners, is that they'll do an intake and they'll try to solve your immediate issue for food insecurity. But they will also guide you through other service organizations or programs that you and your family may benefit from.
Beautifully said. I love the idea of the lighthouse and the beacon. I think that's a wonderful analogy to sort of think about our community, because there are so many people that want to help, and it can become a lot of people sort of have, you know, internal sort of resistance to reach out. There's some shame maybe that they feel, but I really want to send the message that there is no shame in reaching out. And I think what's really important, and I always say this, I worked in the homeless sector for a long time, it's a page in your story, it's not the whole book. And so this Christmas, this time, might be a challenging time, but it doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. Would you agree?
I totally agree. You know, like any donation, you know, every quarter counts, every dollar counts, everything helps. You know, we can buy things and support everybody. You know, don't feel bad if you can't give that $5 this year, but you can give that tuning. Everything helps. It just to see the faces. I mean, we don't get to see the people going in the food bank, but just to see the shelves and just imagine the people going in there to fill their food and you know, sitting at home, you know, eating your Dorito chips or whatever you're eating, you know, you take it for granted. Some people can't do that.
So true.
And during Christmas, we got to make sure the tables are full.
And we know that, you know, the challenges that are being faced right now know no face. It's every walk of life. It's every street in the community. Some people are surprised. Oh, you know, this community needs help. Or as I mentioned earlier, Orléans-Cumberland, people think, oh, there's big houses there. It's beautiful. But the reality is, not every house is big, and not every house has what they need. So it's an important message to send that there is no shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you agree on that? Yeah.
I think most importantly is that by looking at someone, it's always compared to like a duck. It's on the water, it's smooth sailing, but you don't know how fast those legs are paddling under the water, and what stress levels they're going through, and what's happening in their heads. So that no judgment space does exist, and it's in our community centers or community resource centers across our city. And I would say those are some of the joint values that all of these locations have, is that there is no judgment.
Absolutely. What would you say to donors that happily hand over some food or maybe some money to be able to make a difference? What would you say to them today?
You know, like I said, anything counts. You know, at the firefighters will be at the grocery store with a list of things that we need, you know, as a baby food, diapers, so on and so forth. You know, some people come out, and I've seen over the years, they come out with a full cart, and they're saying, oh, hang on a sec. They grab the one bag of toothpaste or whatever, and they just shoot the cart over to us, full of food. Oh. And we're like, wow, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it's something, you know, it's very touching to see these people do that. And you know, the firefighters are so amazed, like, wow, this person gave. Or the firefighters to boot out. And then they're going through their change and they only have 100. They don't even stop, drop the 100 in there. It's like, wow, that's remarkable.
Is it emotional?
Yeah.
It is. It is. But it's also the multiplier aspect. So sometimes people say, I only have $1 to give. But that dollar, I can tell them in all certainty that will be multiplied a minimum of 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you tell me I can donate 5, that's actually $20 worth of food that I can buy. And when we educate people of that, they feel like I've done something today.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's a quarter or a dollar or $5, every single donation helps. And this donation that will be made for the food bank program will be 100% reinvested for the food bank program.
Yeah. And I think that message of cash donations is really impactful, because I don't know if people really understand the buying power that comes with food banks, that they're able to really make that investment, and where we might spend $1.50 on a can of corn, they might be getting that for 45 cents, right?
Yeah. They like I said, they have the buying power, and and they buy in bulk through all the food banks together, and it's great. And people donate that money. I believe last year, I think we did about, just in our one-day event, I think was it $5,000 or $6,000. I forget the exact number. That adds up to a lot of money. Just thinking that we're at 6 different stores, filling the boot and the taps, and then they're able to go buy whichever wasn't on the list or not enough of. And so the money goes a long way.
And you mentioned baby items, and I know this is something that I was really educated on in terms of baby items, is that's what's really needed sometimes, and we tend to forget that diapers and wipes and all those things for wee babes, they're needed as well.
I would say donate where your heart is.
Right.
Some people like to donate for a segment of their lives that is important to them, the age group of their child, or they have a pet. Because some people have the idea that if you have a pet, you shouldn't have any food insecurity. But that pet is also your therapist, is your confidant, is your escort in life. So the benefit of a pet outweighs the cost, but it helps those people with food insecurity to be able to get some pet food as well. So if it is a 2-year-old child or baby or a senior that needs toiletries or adult diapers, donate where your heart is. And a lot of people that I've talked to say that. Well, I have an elder father that now needs some sanitary napkins.
Right.
This is what I'm going to donate, because I'm sure somebody else is going to need that, and it's quite expensive. So my own family, we've always donated to the age group when they were kids.
Yeah, I love
now
that.
that they're older, they still donate for kids, but they try to imagine what the child would want.
Beautiful.
But before it was, I'm 5, I'm going to choose a gift for another 5-year-old girl, because that was her donation.
I love that. We're going to come back because we have more to chat about.
Yes.
I'm not done with you two yet. I'm not done. Of course, Denis and Rob will be coming back to talk all about the Orléans-Cumberland Community Resource Centre. And I know you're coming back to join us on An Hour to Give.